The chess ARG mystery has been completed here in Destiny 2. We have a cutscene leading us to our new Edge of Fate planet. An exotic ship, shader, and emblem, along with a lore card that explains some of the mysteries we'll come to face soon. Welcome Guardians, let's discuss these mysteries. So the ARG chess puzzle is finally over. After a few days, I'm not even sure how to be honest, but the community has cracked it. Something to do with a lot of chessboards and adding them all together. Other creators are way better at explaining that than me, we're just here to discuss the lore and some of the story. If you want to see the cutscene for yourself and get the rewards, there are some steps you'll need to do so though. First up, you have to collect all the chess pieces around the worlds, guide here. Then you have to input 27 chessboard solutions in the unknown space, another guide. Both of these links are down below. After that, you're caught up. You'll be able to load back into the chessboard by launching the node in the last city called Endgame. And you must enter one final board to get the cutscene and rewards. We're going to discuss the lore and show you the cutscenes, but here's the solution for those that want it. Skip ahead to this point for some story talk. If you do complete this, don't forget that a chest spawns on the bottom on the other side. I didn't see this at first. And once you collect that, get your rewards, and interact with the water above on top of the stairs, you'll get a cutscene.
Grief's a funny thing. Some folks get stuck in it, frozen in place. It holds them hostage. And some folks, well, some folks just run. I went far. I had to. I couldn't look at the moon. The way I see it, the farther you run, the less likely you are to get stuck. But this universe tends to stop me in my tracks. One way or another. Something's out there, hero. It's throwing rocks at our window.
So this may not seem like much, but it actually connects straight to the time-torn planet from the Edge of Fate teaser. Let's rewind a bit. At the end of Act 1 of Heresy, from Drifter's perspective, Eris Morn was dead. We as a player knew she wasn't, but this tore Drifter apart. Lorkhard spoke about how he wandered the Dreadnought in grief. I mean, Eris literally died in his arms there. Dialogue also told us that Drifter left. Some characters like Sloane were angry because this is when we needed him most. But he decided to leave it all behind for a bit, try and clear his head, and go on a strange new mission.
I figured I owed you an explanation before I went dark. I'll make it quick. I tried to find a way to bring her back. Don't ask me what I did, but it didn't work. So I thought to myself, hey, I got what I always got. What's left for me anyway? Nothing. Knew it'd happen again. I was a fool to hope, but I couldn't help myself. I just wanted you to know it's nothing personal. It's all me. This is who I am. Always has been. So, don't come looking. I was already halfway gone. Hey, hero. Got an update for you. Sounds like you and Eris and Sloane have the Taken stuff under control. So I'm headed out on recon duty. Hall's staying parked right where it is. This is a short trip, don't you fret. But it's like Sloane said, it got worse around here. And now our backup plans need backup plans. So here's mine. This ain't all the pieces of Oryx's sword, not by a long shot. I'm putting some feelers out, hunting down where those pieces have wandered off to. You never know when you might need a wicked hive sword. So everything's under control. No need to worry about old Drifter. I'll give you a shout when I've got something. Well, can't patch a hive sword up with the everyday ceiling. Where's that leave us? You're gonna need some kind of Taken fanciness for that. More than I have handy. Might be easier in the right place. Got some thoughts on that? I'll leave you a couple notes. Now, if anyone asks, I didn't tell you this. But they can't do anything to you anyway. Been working with the hidden a little. Call it freelancing. I do a favor for them, they do a favor for me. They're squares, but they've got good intel. And they've been keeping an eye on Savathun. We're gonna have to deal with her sooner, not later. Still digging, but when something useful comes up on her, I'll be in touch, hero. You just stay ready.
So some dialogue tells us that he went out looking for missing pieces of Oryx's sword. He also is working with the Hidden for a little bit. Lore cards back that up too. After he left the city, this is when this new cutscene takes place. And it's either Drifter was on a mission to save fine pieces of Willbreaker and stumbled across this, or this was the real mission all along and he gave us a little cover story. But throughout the new cutscene, he explains why he ran. We see him aboard the derelict spaceship while time waves of sorts wash over him, same ones from the reveal teaser. You can literally see that it makes Drifter age. Drifter ran so far that the universe stopped him, and this is where he found this planet. All of this also partially seems to suggest that Drifter had something to do with the chess pieces, either causing some of them to spawn where they did, placing them, or at least finding them because the new lore book explains locations where they are as Drifter wanders around different areas. He actually even gives you like 4 or 5 pieces at the tower, so it could fit story-wise or it was just for the puzzle. If you do all this chess stuff, you'll get the Tales of a Wanderer lore book. Here's a couple of examples. He lingers in the entryway. It's the sort of lingering where you pretend nothing's changed, and it doesn't have to, as long as you never go in. Eris will always be just out of reach, but at least there, real in the apartment she barely used, in the city she defended but rarely saw. It's a fool's dream. But what is he if not a fool? So he stays a little longer, sick with wishing. Pretending everything's fine was never going to work. He says he's lost a shipment of new fancy guns to get a bunch of guardians off his back and a scavenger hunt for non-existent weapons. Give him some peace and quiet. He takes a minute to rustle around in his stuff, grabbing what he might need for maybe a longer trip. Not sure where he'd go, just not here. He swears he can see Eris leaning against the railing, a sly little smile barely turning up the corners of her mouth. He can't stand it. He swings by to let the man in charge know he's going to be out of town for a while. Guy'll understand. And it's a new level of responsible. Commander should appreciate that. The place is empty though. He wanders around it, sets the beads to clicking against each other, prods the gold figure on the side of the table till it falls over, meanders past books and blinks at the cat perched on the shelf over his head. Nothing. He's restless. The longer he stands still, the longer the grief has to get its hooks into him. He mutters a curse into the silence and sees himself out. So some of these cards tell little stories like these. Others speak of Drifter, say, wandering around the tower and finding a chess piece. The last card is called the Final Curtain and says, someone else finds him there. He sees himself out, mouth stinging as he takes the stairs. That's it then. There's nothing for him here, and he was a fool to think there was. Time to go. So there's a little backstory on Drifter's mission, where he went out to, and what he found. It seems like he stumbled upon this and wasn't actually searching for it. He was just given the Guardian cover stories to say, I need to take a break and go out for a while. The new exotic ship also gives us some lore. It says this. What do you imagine you see? Drifter has a log of reports, a list that grows year after year. He doesn't bother encrypting it, not like anyone else could get anything useful from it anyway. It's about the hull, see, the tests he's run on it when he's of a mood to be a curious man. He checks how heavy it is, gliding along behind his ship like there's nothing at all to it. What it off-gasses? Nothing, but also dust. Sometimes the dust is radioactive particles, sometimes it's confetti. No two tests come back the same. It's a hobby. Wake up in the morning, feel a specific sort of gnawing in the part of him that passes for human. Find out what the hull feels like weighing today. Once, out of a kind of morbid curiosity, he went looking for patterns in the data. A secret message sent in space divided by time, cryptographics. Nothing, not even a joke at his expense, just nonsense. Static played out on the radio, all that noise still equaling zero. Drifter's almost insulted, but sure, whatever. No one asked him to understand the thing, just carry it and play the game. Sometimes the game covers his incidentals. Sometimes it's a weight around his neck. Either way, he's getting tired of waiting for the other shoe to drop. So this card of course speaks about Drifter's hull. His ship is the Derelict, but a while back the emissary of the Nine arrived in his ship and said here's a gift from the Nine, giving him now what he tows behind it called the hull. This of course contains sort of unknown space pocket dimensions of the Nine, which we visited in activities like the Reckoning, but beyond that it still has many mysteries too. I'm sure there's more theories and mysteries to dive into involving his ship and the hull, but it also makes me wonder one more thing. He went out there to take a breather and eventually found this planet somehow. The hull of course is connected to the Nine or was in the past, so does something happen there between that and the planet? Or was the Nine sort of story threads already set in motion long before this? But anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. A new cutscene and some story elements leading into our reveal for the Edge of Fate next week. Rite of the Nine also begins then, so it makes sense that Drifter would be involved with all of this. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.